Hey guys, and welcome to The Design Show. I'm Ryan Warren, and I'm here to bring you a weekly update and inspiration from the design industry. We've tried this once before, tried it about a year ago, and it was really hard to maintain with the format that we had then, but we asked a bunch of questions and got a load of comments, and I think we're going to try and simplify the format and see if we can keep this up every week. So we'll consider this our first episode, and let's get straight into the news. So first up this week, we've got a rebrand of a brand that we probably all will know and love from our childhood, and that's Fisher-Price. It was done by Pentagram, and I really like what they've done with it. They've kept that iconic mark, what they call the awning, and they've moved that from a 4 semicircle to a 3 semicircle. I think this makes it look a lot cleaner. Also like the punchier, brighter red that they've brought it to as well. Whilst the typography is quite closely tied to the original, I really love the FI ligature that they've created. I think that makes it really nice and clean and pulled together. They've kept that kind of iconic H shape that you don't really see a lot, or I can't think of any other application where I've seen an H shape like that. And then there's a few other recognizable pieces as well, like the rotations on the E and the tails on the E also. One of the really beautiful parts of this, I think, and something that they've used in the design system as they've gone forward, is they've taken these semicircles, it seems, from the awning and used that to create the foundation of the shape for the hyphen in between the two words. Looking at the monogram, I think that's really nice. The angles of the letters is really nice and playful. Really represents the children's brand really well. But it's when you get into these little animations using that monogram with these squiggles, I think this is really cool. This is where it starts to really come to life for me, and the introduction of all the other colors, those motions. It's really, really playful. They've really kept that character as they go into some of the more typographical pieces with their tagline of "Let's be kids." I think it's really great how it jumps around, and again, they've kept that kind of chaos and it really feels for me like a children's brand. I think they've really nailed this one. Here's a look at some of the other components of the brand. Okay, next up is from UX Collective. If you don't already know UX Collective, they have a great Medium page which is always filled with really great articles, really great insights, and really good educational pieces as well. Each year they release a list of the top design and UX conferences and events around the world that you should go to. They've uploaded these to Airtable in a really useful list. You can filter by region, you can filter by date. So if you're a freelancer looking to upskill, or you're a manager and you want to send your team away for some inspiration, there'll definitely be something for you. I'll put the links in the caption down below, so check that out. The first person I want to showcase today is a guy called Nathan Holtis from Kansas City in the US. I'm really hoping that he's Mitch Holtis' son. That's the commentator of the Kansas City Chiefs football team. That'll be awesome.
He's throwing long, and the catch is made! Touchdown! Deep post pattern! Touchdown! Kansas City!
His work is also awesome though. He's recently uploaded a collection of his favorite pieces from 2019. I can see why they're his favorite. There's some really, really cool pieces here. Some of the work he's done for The Shed, a recording studio in Austin. The typography is excellent. I love also the textures and everything that he applies. It's really bringing that vintage style on. I noticed something really clever about his work in that he never seems to go to true black, and I think that really amplifies the vintage tones that he has throughout his work. But one thing in his portfolio that I think is a damn shame, and that's this piece for Cafeteria. It's a really nice end result that the client has chosen. This is the chosen logo by the client. But actually this one here, which is an outtake, I think this might be one of the nicest pieces of typography and nicest brand lockup in this kind of old school style that I've seen in a really long time. And both of the pieces are great, but I think that's just a real miss on the client's part in my opinion. If you want to check out more of his work, I'll link it in the caption down below. Second up this week is a guy called Andreas Storm from Berlin, who I am lovingly dubbing as the king of the micro interaction. If you look here, you'll see why. He just uses such slick animations to keep users informed of when an action has been taken or an action is needed. You can see that here in this download button, or really unique input field animations like this tick confirmation. And then some really elegant animations like this one here for attaching a file. But he's just one of those designers that is a gift that keeps on giving, so here's just a few extra pieces to take a look at. finally is a designer illustrator from Dallas, Texas called John Matter. The first thing I found from him was a notebook cover that he's done for NPR. I really like the illustration style. They're really simple shapes, but the layering and the colors and then that texture, it's just beautiful. And actually my favorite thing in his portfolio is a series of stamps that he's done celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. He's great at using these really simple geometric shapes and that really high contrast to create shadows and depth with something so simple. Well, that's it for this week's show. All the people and the projects that I've talked about will be linked down below. If you've got any feedback, then please let me know over on Twitter. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.